Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to our legal matters. Straight into the program. अगर आपके पास कोई issue regarding legal matters, immigration or representation or any other issue, then pick the phone or give us an email and we'll be more than happy to help you. यही बात कर रहे थे राज साहब, आपको स्टार्ट करने से पहले कॉल आ रही से शामिल कर दें. Hello.
My name is Mr. Butt.
Mr. Butt, welcome to the program, Mr. Butt.
Hi. Mr. Imran, I just wanted to ask that I'm on tier 2 general visa right now. My 5 years will be finishing around in April next year, and then I'm eligible to apply for an ILR. Now, my contract of work is till August 2014, and my eligibility for the ILR is in April 2014. Now, it states on the Home Office website that you need to provide a letter from your employer that they still want you for the job. Now, my question is, how long should that letter be valid for? I mean, the contract's till August 2014, and I can apply for ILR on April 2014. So what should the letter state? And I mean, I was a bit confused. So should it be for the next 12 months, or is it fine till August even? I just wanted to inquire about it.
Take it, I've got it. Thank you very much for your question, Basab. Keep watching the program. You will get your answer within this program, inshallah. ठीक है राय साहब, we were just talking, ये आप अभी explain कर रहे थे, and we just carry on with that. So you mentioned about there's not necessarily you'll get disqualification. So if you're caught with alcohol consumption,
that's right, yeah.
So you're going to help him, and you can help in the circumstances, challenge the
whether there are special reasons, etc. Yeah, sure.
थोड़ा सा आप explain करें जो जब इस तरह की situation हो जाती है, where somebody is on a border case, where from the time they get arrested and then they do the second, which is a sample in a police station, can that be challenged? Because the first sample shows they're reading that this is alcohol, is broke the limit.
Yeah. First of all, there will be a road test, a positive or negative, and then if the person is arrested under the suspicion of driving after having alcohol, then he will be arrested, and he'll be taken to the police station, where he will be put on the intoxilizer. They will take 2 readings, and the police will take the lowest one, and then if the threshold has been passed, then he will be charged for driving with excess alcohol. Then again, if the matter goes to the court, obviously it will, and the ban will be on the sliding scale.
Sure.
12 months, 18 months, 22 months, depending on the reading. However, if there is any defense, there are any special reasons, whether he got hip flask defense, whether he consumed alcohol after or was caught at home or following an accident, etc. So there's so many ways we can help that person, and if anybody rings for free advice afterwards, or if there's any pending prosecution regarding this matter, we will be able to help that person.
आपसे ये भी पूछ रहा था, that son that's driving, and obviously there is what they call strict liability about insurance, and certain rules and laws where strict liability applies. There is no defense.
Yeah, strict liability means that if a person is caught driving without insurance, as I said before, whether he has insurance or he hasn't insurance, and the rest is
broke the law.
Mitigation, split up from the wife, joint account, she stopped the direct debit, he didn't know, he thought he was. So there may be special reasons why the court should not find him guilty. So there's so many ways we can help that person.
Yes, but then again, that person has to plead guilty initially, and then you will come in. ये तो बात है राइस आप जब भी आप views आप सुन रहे थे special reason that राइस आपका आपने भी सुना है that he can help in his circumstances, and we're here to give you the best advice. He's a solicitor and advocate जो barristers काम करते हैं, and that is a little extra bit he can give you. So अगर आपके पास कोई ऐसे similar issues हैं, then pick the phone up, give us a call. अगर आप चाहते हैं program के बाद, we can help you, we can give you the details, and we can help you with that. Raj आपसे भी बात करेंगे. We'll come back to the immigration stuff. शायद आप mention कर रहे थे अभी the new rules, and obviously they're now going to be coming in the next few days' time. There's serious issues and बहुत सारे. What about issues about we not mentioned about this? आप थोड़ा सा बताएं तो views of domestic violence and I want you to explain a little bit forced marriages, so the two things don't get mixed up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you want me to start with forced marriage is a marriage where somebody has been forced into getting married to somebody else without their free will and consent. So that's like a generic definition of a forced marriage. Whereas domestic violence is a different kettle of fish altogether. Basically, what domestic violence entails is that somebody comes from abroad here on a spouse visa, and once they are here, then their marriage situation deteriorates and they start suffering abuse. It could be physical violence or mental torture. You know, it's those kind of things which are then classed as domestic violence. So if somebody is suffering from that kind of physical abuse, or they're being constantly mentally harassed, you know, so that virtually the marriage comes to a breakdown.
शायद साहब sorry interrupt करने के कॉल आ रही से शामिल करते हैं because views हम disappoint नहीं करना चाहते हैं. आप कौन कॉल कर रहा है, किधर से, कहाँ से? Hello, yes
जी,
कौन, where are you calling from, कौन कहाँ से?
I'm calling from London.
Okay, can we have your name please?
Yeah, my name is Salima.
Okay, thank you Salima. Can we, आप अपना question बताएं?
My question is, you know, I have, I mean, my cousin has adopted a child from abroad, and apparently, I mean, he's not the father. He has put his name, you know, down as the father of the child, and the problem is that the child is British. She's 4 years old. So the thing that to the country abroad, they don't. I mean, they are saying that the child is illegal to come here. I mean, my husband is like in problem now.
Yeah. Okay. And what is your status, Ms. Salima?
I'm British. We are British.
You're both British. And where is the child coming from? Which country?
It's from an African country.
From an African country. Can you give us a name, or does it?
Yeah, it's from Mauritius.
Mauritius. Okay. And they're saying the child is illegal, yeah? That's your question, is what can be done?
No. The child is legal here.
Yeah.
I mean, the child. I mean, here is legal, but when my husband went home, and apparently there have been some issues about the child coming here. So it's like what I want to know is if you are not a parent. I mean, you are not the biological parent of,
yeah.
You know, biological father. Can you declare a child on your name?
Okay, thank you very much. We've got your question. Thank you for that question. We'll answer your question within this program. Keep watching. Thank you. Okay, yeah, Shahid, we were talking about having forced marriages. Abhi explain quite well. What now? Domestic violence, and that affects a lot of people, a lot of the females.
Yeah.
Thoda sa ye bataye, what they need to look at, or how are we going to help them?
Well, I mean, the telltale signs are that once a spouse comes over here and the marriage kind of breaks down, could be physical violence, abuse, general abuse, then technically that then comes under domestic violence.
Okay. Shahid sir, sorry, call abhi shamil karte hain, phir aayenge aapke paas. Hello.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
वालेकुम सलाम, कौन कहाँ से?
मैं शबीन बात कर रही हूँ लंदन से।
जी मिस शबीन।
मुझे ये पूछना था, मैंने अपनी नेशनलिटी का केस डाला था विद माय हस्बैंड। तो मेरे हस्बैंड को तो यहाँ 7 इयर्स हो गए हैं, उनका केस जो है वो उनको नेशनलिटी मिल गई है, लेकिन चूंकि मुझे अभी 4 साल हुए थे तो उन्होंने मेरा केस रिफ्यूज कर दिया है।
ओके।
तो मुझे ये पूछना था कि अच्छा, उन्होंने साथ में रिकंसिडरेशन का फॉर्म भेजा है मुझे,
ठीक है,
तो क्या मैं रिकंसिडर इस बेस पे कर सकती हूँ कि अब क्योंकि मेरे हस्बैंड इज नाउ ब्रिटिश, So because as a British spouse, I mean spouse of a British, I have to spend 4 years over here.
ठीक है.
So क्या मैं इसको इस बेस पर रिकंसिडरेशन कर सकती हूँ और कितना टाइम लिमिट है मेरे पास रिकंसिडरेशन के भेजने के लिए?
ठीक है. Shukriya, आपका question का Mr. Shabin. We'll answer your question within this program. So keep watching.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. Shaisab, you mentioned about the domestic violence. The telling signs.
Yeah, the telltale signs.
अभी sorry शायद मैं कॉल लेता हूँ पहले and फिर आपके पास आते हैं. जी कौन कहाँ से? Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. You're on program. Can we have your name, please?
My name is Hassan.
Hassan, Mr. Hassan, can you speak up a little bit so we can hear you on the program?
Sorry?
Can you? Yeah. Can you give us your question? I couldn't hear you before. Yes. Now you're clear.
My name is Hassan and I'm coming from Reading.
Okay.
My question is regarding. I'm on a Tier 1 journal visa.
Okay.
And I have just recently got an extension on that.
Okay.
And my next due, that is for ILR, which is due in 2015.
Okay.
Now, my question is, I had a fall at my workplace a few months back, and I was like bedridden for a month and a half. And I had put a case against my company, which I'm working for. I just wanted to check, will this anyway affect my ILR, which is due in 2015?
Okay.
Thank you.
So, thank you for your call.
Yeah.
ठीक है. Okay, Shahid साहब, we're just discussing this. जो अभी बता रहे थे domestic violence का.
Yeah.
Telltale signs.
Yeah, telltale signs. Like you said before, obviously, it could be physical violence, or it could be just emotional blackmail or mental torture, general taunts and stuff. You know, it could be all kinds of things. You know, there isn't a specific definition of it.
So they basically they need to report that to the doctors and to the police, if care workers.
If the violence is of severe nature, then obviously the police needs to be notified. They would need to step in and put a stop to that.
Okay.
But apart from that, obviously, if the nature of the domestic violence is more sort of mental as opposed to physical, then you need to inform your GP. You need to get a social worker involved. You need to get a psychiatrist to do an assessment how it's having a detrimental effect on your mental well-being.
ठीक है शाह साहब, we'll come back to you. कॉल आ रही से शामिल कर देंगे. Hello, कौन कहाँ से? Hello. Sorry, can you repeat your question, please? And can we have your name, please?
Hi, my name is Rohit. I'm calling from Bristol.
Okay, Mr. Rohit.
Yeah, my question is, I'm on a post-study work visa at the moment.
Yeah.
I live with my mum and dad and my brother in England. They all have got indefinite stay. I'm the only one in the family who don't have a permanent stay in England. If there is I can do on my mum and dad's behalf, like so that I become a permanent citizen in this country, because I'm the last member of the family who was left, and I haven't got anyone back home left or any member of my family.
Okay, so they're all here.
Yeah, we all are here. I'm like 25 years old. I'm working with a company as a store manager on my PSW visa.
Okay.
My mum and dad both have got indefinite. Even my brother, he's been in the country for 15 years. He's a permanent citizen as well.
Okay, so you just want to know how you can get your stay in the country, yeah, how you can regularize it, yeah. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Rad, for calling. We'll get back to you. You'll keep watching the program, and you'll get your answer within the program. एक और कॉल आ रही है, शामिल कर दें. हेलो, कौन कहाँ से?
अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
वालेकुम सलाम.
मैं काजिम बोल रहा हूँ न्यूयॉर्क से.
Okay, आपका नाम क्या था? Sorry.
काजिम.
काजिम. Okay. जनाब अपना क्वेश्चन बताएं.
ये मैं सवाल ये है कि मेरा एक अजीज है, वो आयरलैंड में है. तो वो वहाँ वीजा लेकर गया हुआ था, तो उसको फिर वर्क परमिट मिल गया था, उसका वर्क परमिट खत्म हो गया. अब वो वहाँ इलीगल हो गया है.
Okay.
तो उसके लिए क्या सूरत है, क्या हो सकता है?
Okay, is in Ireland, yeah? उसका वर्क परमिट खत्म हो गया.
जी जी.
ठीक है. Okay, आजिम साहब, आप प्रोग्राम वॉच करते रहें, आपको जवाब मिलेगा प्रोग्राम में. I will come back to you इंशाल्लाह. ठीक है शाहिद साहब, अभी आपके पास आने से पहले एक और कॉल आ रही है, शामिल करते हैं. जी हेलो, कौन कहाँ से?
Hello, I've got a question please. I'm calling from Birmingham.
Okay, can I have your name, please? Sorry?
Akram.
Okay, Mr. Akram. Mr. Akram, thank you for coming on the program. And can you give us a question?
Actually, I've got a friend of mine.
Yeah.
Who has been studying in this country. And actually, he has completed his degree now, and now he has got married with somebody.
Okay.
So on his previous student visa, he was allowed to work.
Yeah.
Now he is waiting to switch over to spouse visa. So while he is waiting, is he allowed to work full time in UK?
Okay. Whilst he's waiting, he's allowed to work full time. Yeah. Okay. So is that the question? Thank you very much, and we'll answer your question within this program. Thank you. शायद आपके पास आने से पहले एक और कॉल शामिल करते हैं। जी कौन कहाँ से? Hello. Hi, you're welcome to the Legal Matters. You're actually on air. Can we have your name?
My name is Raz.
आपका नाम क्या है?
From Birmingham.
अच्छा, नाम बताएंगे प्लीज?
नाम राज.
राज. ओके राज साहब, आप क्वेश्चन बताएं.
क्वेश्चन ये था कि मैंने ना 7 ईयर पॉलिसी पे अपने अप्लाई किया था अभी लास्ट मंथ में.
ठीक है.
तो मेरा बेटा यहाँ बोर्न हुआ था, वो यहाँ पे अब 9 साल का हो गया. तो मैंने नई एप्लीकेशन भरी, सारी फीस भी दी है, तो उन्होंने 1 महीने के अंदर रिफ्यूज कर दिया.
ओके.
तो अब मेरा सोलिसिटर कहता है इसको हाई कोर्ट में लेके जाएंगे. तो इसका क्या प्रोसीजर होता है? वो बोलते हैं मैंने प्री एक्शन प्रोटोकॉल लेटर भी भेजा है. तो इसका क्या स्टेप बाय स्टेप कैसे होगा? मेरे को कोर्ट में जाना पड़ेगा, इसका में कितना टाइम लग जाएगा? तो प्लीज थोड़ा बता दीजिए. ठीक है. राज साहब की वॉचिंग आपको इंशाल्लाह इसी प्रोग्राम में बता दें. शायद आई थिंक विद टाइम का सोच के थोड़ा क्वेश्चंस आपसे अभी छोड़ दे दें, थोड़े से सवाल जवाब पे चलते हैं. पहले जो कॉल आई थी शफकत साहब की जो आई थी, वो ये पूछ रहे थे वो अपनी वाइफ को बुलाना चाहिए. wants to call his wife over from Pakistan. He asked about the income. I think Mr. Shafkat, if you're watching and listening, the actual rules at the moment, it was taken to the High Court about this, challenging out the decision by the government about the 18,600. But apparently, that is the rules at the moment, because the decision has not been made. Because what the courts did, they've actually left it for decision for the basically for the government to make the decision on it. So at the moment, it's still pending. So where you stand at the moment is it's still 18,600, and that's the income threshold you will need at the moment. Raj, you would आपको कुछ कहना था इस पे थोड़ा सा on this case?
Yeah, that's the threshold set by the government to stop any person entering the UK, so that that person is not dependent on public funds, and person must be solvent in this country. That's why they put this threshold of £18,600. But applications are still being considered, and hopefully average earning in this country is £12,000. I think the limit is very high, and hopefully the government will allow legitimate people, provided they can show accommodation, they are in full-time employment, and the person who's coming over and the sponsor is solvent person, and that person will not be dependent on public resources. So it will be
of course. Thank you. आपने इस बहुत अच्छी बताया that these are the things that they need to be in mind, Shafkat Sahab, and also that you've got some savings that आप उससे भी contribute कर सकते हैं, and each case is discussed and looked upon on each merit. So I think you're in full-time job, you may have a good case to call your wife over as a spouse. Shahid, we had Mr. Safdar Abbas, asylum seeker, on that one we need about his application with his children.
जी हाँ, उनका एक बेटा है जो ओवर 18 है, और वो उससे भी ये पूछना चाह रहे थे कि उनकी सालम की एप्लीकेशन उन्हीं के साथ सबमिट होएगी या सेपरेटली. तो एज अ जनरल रूल anybody 18 and over is deemed to be an adult and independent, so his application would be made separately.
It has to be done separately. Yeah. और जो हमारे बट साहब की कॉल आई थी about to and his application is not till 2014 ILR.
Yeah, I mean बट साहब का जो इशू है ना वो है लेटर ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट का. तो वो पूछ रहे थे कि अगर मेरी ILR अगस्त 14 तक है, तो अगस्त 14 तक का ही लेटर हो, तो आई थिंक दैट वुड बी कटिंग वेरी क्लोजली, if I could put it in those terms. It's better to get a 12 months employment contract if it's possible, because then it will take you above and beyond the date when your ILR is due for, well, when you would be actually applying for ILR. So अगर आप 12 months का जो है अपने employment को confidence में लेके explain करें अपनी situation, and if the employer can grant you a 12-month visa which would be beyond the cut-off date, then it will go in your favor.
I think that's the most important thing. अगर वो कर लेते हैं 12 months का, it will help him so much. बस आप उसे ज़रूर करें, try to talk to your employer. जो कॉल आई थी सलीमा जब बच्चे के बारे में बात कर रही थी, not being the parents biological ones, I want to bring it over.
जी हाँ, इनका थोड़ा सा जो क्वेश्चन था ना वो इन्होंने जैसे एक्सप्लेन किया, जहाँ तक मेरी अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, I'll try to explain in English because I think the lady
yes, she spoke in English.
Basically she's married to a person who's a British national, and the child is probably from a previous marriage. Okay, the father took the child to abroad, but obviously he did not notify the mother, the biological mother. So obviously she's probably reported it to the police, and now he's come into difficulty. Now, so the thing is, like, I mean, he can say that he wasn't aware of the rules, but obviously the biological mother must have panicked and been worried that where her son or daughter has been taken. So that's why they need to then give justification and a good explanation as to why they did what they did.
So Mrs. Shabeen, she'd been refused. Sorry, Mrs.
It wasn't
sorry, I'm
refused.
looking at the wrong case.
They've got in trouble with the authorities.
With the authorities, with the child when they're trying to bring him over. So basically, so she needs to give a credible and explanation.
Plausible explanation as to why they did what they did.
I think if Mrs. Salima, you're watching this program, obviously this is a very delicate issue because it's about a child and about legality and illegality. So if you want to contact us after the program, you can do so. Our contact numbers and our details are actually on the screen. And you can contact the studio itself and they'll give our contact details. We'll be more than happy to help you because I think you do require a specialist to help you in that, to provide you the guidance. एक और जो कॉल आई थी मिसेस शबीन की जो refused for nationality. Her husband's got the 7 years been here and he's got the nationality. What's the time limit?
Well, the time limit is 5 years. You can only apply for nationality once you've been here for at least 5 years. So obviously she applied before the 5 years were over, and that's the grounds on which the application has been refused. I mean, they have given her a right of appeal, and she wanted to know how long time, but normally it's 28 days from when they write to you, for you to put a valid appeal in. In terms of what she can say, I mean, she could say that she's got established life in UK, she's already got a spouse who is British national, and if the UKBA would take those mitigating circumstances into account, they might grant, or they might say, well, a strict application of the rules, you got to reapply after your 5 years are over.
And aapko, Ms. Shabeen, if you're watching a program, again, because of your circumstances, and they are quite difficult ones, so please feel free to contact us. We may be able to help you in this one. Jo dusra da Hassan Saab from Reading, his tier 1 extension, he's asking about his issues what he mentioned in the question, Shahid. How are we going to advise him on this one?
Yeah, basically, he is working.
Is that ILR's due to 2015?
In 2015,
and indefinitely.
Basically, he had a injury at his workplace. Now he's taking his employer to court over that injury that he suffered at his workplace. Now the question he's asking, if he wins any compensation, would that be detrimental for his application? I mean, my answer to his question is that it's not so much the compensation, it's the fact that if you win any compensation and your employer is found to be guilty, then the employer might not be very happy with you, for taking them to court, over this issue. So they might look to terminate your employment. That's something that you need to be wary about, not if you win any compensation and if it will have any effect on your future application. It's what your employer might do in return. as a reaction to you taking them to court.
But is it not possible? I mean, he'll be able to switch as well. He's got the freedom to switch employers.
Yeah, in a similar category.
Yeah.
I mean, if his employment were terminated without any justification, then obviously he's able to switch to another employer.
But Shahin, because he's obviously up there, Hassan Sam's watching the program.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to be devil advocate. He's going to say, look, you know, I had no intentions of doing this. I was working.
We were just
I had
talking
a legal contract, and I had an injury.
We are talking hypothetically here. We're just trying to make him aware. We're not saying that your employer is going to fire you, but that's something that you need to have in mind.
So there's possibility he doesn't need to be worried too much.
I mean, the thing is, if his question is, or if I win compensation, would it be deemed to be like, or is it like a recourse to public fund? Well, it's not recourse to public fund.
This is not. Hassan Saab, you probably आपको थोड़ा सा हमने explain इसी वजह से करा है, so that you have an overall picture. So आप हर situation को understand करें that what could happen. शाहिद साहब ने इस वजह से mention करा था about the employer who then may terminate your contract. But nevertheless, you are entitled to bring a legal court case against anybody who breaches any rules of the land. So, inshallah, agar aapko koi problem ho, and you do need some advice, further advice, then please contact us. We'll be more than happy to help you. Rahat Saab ka jo phone aaya tha, Mr. Rahat, student visa. He's mentioned about all the family are British. He wants to regularize, and he's getting a little bit apprehensive.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Is probably over 18. If he was under 18, it would have been straightforward on the basis of parents being British. He can still actually regularize his status, but the procedure is going under the FLRO, rules outside the general immigration rules. So he'll have to show that he's been settled and he's got established life in the UK, and obviously that's quite easy for him to establish because all his parents and brothers and sisters are here and they are British nationals. So on that basis, he would be able to.
I think it's basically he has a potentially a good case.
Yeah.
All sibling parents all in the country.
Yeah.
Rasab, if you're watching the program, then you've just heard it from us at this program that you potentially have a good case. So if you want us to look into your case, we'll be more than happy to help you. Because like you said, your parents, your siblings are in UK, and you got no other ties in your country of origin. So feel free to contact us. We'll be able to guide you and help you. Qazim Saab ka jo call aayi thi,
from New York.
Yeah, from New York about. You know, he mentioned about his
he's got a friend in Ireland who went there initially on a work permit visa. The work permit
is
finished, and now he's living there as a overstay.
Yeah.
So our advice to Mr. Qasim would be that it all depends on your friend's circumstances, because we don't know that how long ago was work permit granted, and even though the work permit has expired now, he might have been living as an overstay for a long period of time.
इसे जवाब देंगे हम उर्दू में, because काजिम साहब के कॉल आई थी उर्दू में, so let's just try to उन्हें जवाब मिल जाए जो understand करें, जो अभी हमने अपने mention करा है, we want the view to understand this.
कासिम साहब को उर्दू में ये है कि हमें जो है facts नहीं मालूम कि आपके जो दोस्त आयरलैंड में गए थे वर्क परमिट पे, वो कब गए थे, यानी कि अगर उनका वीज़ा एक्सपायर भी हो गया है और उसके बाद भी वो अभी उधर ही रह रहे हैं, तो कितना ड्यूरेशन हो गया है. जितना ज़्यादा ड्यूरेशन बढ़ जाता है उतना ज़्यादा आपका जो राइट टू स्टे है उस कंट्री में इस सिचुएशन में आयरलैंड में वो ज़्यादा हो जाएगा. तो हमें वो इस्टेब्लिश करना है कि वो गए कब थे और कितने अरसे तक वो एज अ वर्क परमिट होल्डर काम करते रहे, और उसके बाद जब वो एक्सपायर हुआ है कितने साल ऊपर हो गए हैं और वो उधर हैं, और अगर इस ड्यूरेशन के अंदर उनकी कोई रिलेशनशिप वगैरह भी है किसी आयरिश नेशनल से, या अगर उनके कोई बच्चे वगैरह हैं जो आपने नहीं हमें बताया, अगर वो हो तो वो उनका केस जो है वो और ज़्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग हो जाएगा.
ठीक है, शुक्रिया फॉर दैट. अकरम साहब की जो कॉल आई थी, एंड ही जस्ट गॉट मैरिड, स्टूडेंट वीज़ा.
इनका स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड सा सवाल है. वो स्टूडेंट वीज़े पे आए थे, अब उन्होंने स्विच किया है स्पाउस वीज़े पे. तो जब तक स्पाउस वीज़ा ग्रांट नहीं हो जाता, अनफॉर्चुनेटली ही इज़ बाउंड बाय द टर्म्स ऑफ हिज स्टूडेंट वीज़ा.
But he's asking, so he can't work.
Well, the thing is, he's still bound.
He's still bound by the student visa requirements.
Yeah.
तो इसका मानी obviously he needs to
until he gets his spouse visa, उसके ऊपर लिखा होगा no restrictions on work, ठीक है? अगर आप उससे पहले करेंगे और आप अगर detain हो जाते हैं, then obviously you will be found to be in breach of your student.
I think that ये अभी हम discuss करेंगे because अकरम साहब आप हमारा प्रोग्राम भी watch करें, इंशाल्लाह अभी आपको थोड़ा सा इसमें talk करेंगे so that you understand इसकी implication क्या होती है. राज साहब का फ़ोन आया था, उन्होंने कहा था he's got a son, he's refused judicial review, उन्हें solicitors करने चाह रहे हैं, taking a challenge in the High Court.
I mean, judicial review
what
is
the system on ये question ये था process क्या होगा, how long the time will be, and I think इनको आप answer करें. I want to then go on to the deportation and other questions.
I mean, judicial review is basically taking the UK border agency or Home Office to court on the grounds that they have made an error on the grounds of the application of the rule. So अब मुझे तो नहीं पता कि आपका केस क्या था, वो तो आपका सोलिसिटर ही जानता है और वो किस बेसिस पे जुडिशल रिव्यू के लिए रिक्वेस्ट कर रहा है. नॉर्मल प्रोसीजर यही है कि आप अपनी एप्लीकेशन जो है हाई कोर्ट में सबमिट करेंगे. यू विल गिव देम द ग्राउंड्स for requesting for judicial review, be it mitigating circumstances or compassionate grounds or a clear breach of immigration rules as they've been applied in your case by the UKBA. तो इसमें कोई ज़्यादा कोई complicated चीज़ नहीं है. It's basically asking the court to look at the decision of the UKBA and trying to show that they have made an error of judgment in terms of how they've applied the law.
ठीक है.
That's what it is.
अब जो डिस्कशन हम करते हैं अभी जो हमारा टाइम रह गया है, थोड़ा सा डिपोर्टेशन के, राय साहब से भी बात करेंगे. Obviously, राय साहब तो माशाल्लाह a very much a criminal lawyer and an advocate in that. We'll ask you a couple of questions to the viewers as well. But Shahid, briefly, जो भी कॉल आई थी अपने अकरम साहब ने जो मेंशन करा था, I'm just using that as an example. Student visa, he's going through the spouse visa. And basically he hasn't got a spouse visa at the moment.
No.
And he hasn't got that, and he wants to work. And if he gets caught, now that is a classic example where जहाँ बंदे breach कर देते हैं and they get caught by the UKB border agency.
Absolutely.
And then they detained हो जाते हैं. Now आप इनका केस लेके आप थोड़ा सा explain करें. Detention में क्या होता है and how are we going to help him, because that is a process what we want that people to know.
Well, कुछ लोग जो है ना वो मिस एडवाइज्ड होते हैं. वो कहते हैं कि जी आपने अगर निकाह कर लिया, शादी कर लिया, तो आप जो है ना यू आर नॉट obliged to be bound by your conditions, student visa conditions. लेकिन होम ऑफिस का जो व्यू है वो ये नहीं है. वो ये कहते हैं कि ठीक है, अगर आप शादी करते हैं that is allowed, that's acceptable, but you have to then submit a valid application. और जब तक वो एप्लीकेशन का आपको आंसर नहीं आता, क्योंकि आपने शादी कर ली है लेकिन होम ऑफिस माइट स्टिल चैलेंज दैट इट वाजंट अ वैलिड मैरिज ऑन वेरियस ग्राउंड्स. तो जब तक वहाँ से आपको एक्सेप्टेंस नहीं मिल जाता, आपका वीज़ा जो है वो स्टैम्प पासपोर्ट स्टैम्प होकर नहीं आ जाता, तो यू आर स्टिल बाउंड बाय योर वीज़ा विच वाज इशूड टू यू. और उस पर क्लियरली लिखा होता है सिर्फ उसी सिचुएशन में स्टूडेंट्स जो है उनको वर्क अलाउ है अगर वो पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट्स हैं या PhD स्टूडेंट्स हैं. ठीक है. एनी अदर काइंड ऑफ स्टूडेंट इज़ नॉट अलाउड टू वर्क, और वो क्लियरली उसके ऊपर लिखा होता है. तो अगर आप कहते हैं कि जी मैं आया स्टूडेंट वीज़े पे था, अब मैंने शादी कर लिया, अब मैं काम करूँगा, तो यू आर आस्किंग फॉर ट्रबल.
Basically, this is something they should not be considering.
No.
Because your visa gives you restrictions on that. Right, Sahab, I want to, Shahid Sahab, obviously time shortage की वजह से we can't talk about all the issues regarding deportation and processes. But what we'll do next week, inshallah, we'll be talking about the bail application as well. Raj, आपसे मुझे ये बात करना थी.
Yeah, sure.
Just very briefly, because of the time. The issues regarding the benefit fraud, थोड़ा सा आप mention करें, because there's been a number of people जो genuinely by mistake they don't report, they don't tell about changed circumstances. Can you just explain what?
Yeah, what is a benefit fraud? A person who is entitled to benefits and then he does not notify the authorities for change in circumstances, then obviously he's committing a fraud. And then they will call that person to have him or her interviewed under caution, which is under the Police and Criminal Evidence Act 1984. Which in short we call a PACE interview.
Yeah.
And then obviously a decision will be made by the legal team whether to prosecute or not to recover the money. But again, we can help the viewers if somebody is in is in that sort of situation, please get in touch with us. We can do free representation when somebody's called for the interview, and hopefully we can represent them and enter into an agreement
with authorities
for that person to repay that amount which he was paid when he shouldn't have been paid that sort of amount. And then if it is a first offense, it's not in the public interest to prosecute, and it's a small amount, and perhaps that person can get away with a caution and recovery of money, and it will not end up with any conviction on his or her record. So it's very important. Get in touch with us. We can help you free of charge at any time. And if you're unable to come to our offices, we have 9 offices all over the Northwest, and we can also attend at home to assist any person who needs our services.
So basically legal aid will be provided, anything to do with criminal issues. Raj will be here, and myself and my colleague SYED to assist you and help you. Time's run out as usual. बहुत सारे लोग थे जिन्हें contact करना चाह रहे थे. Unfortunately, because of the time we run out actually, inshallah next week में program में ज़रूर लेंगे. Questions रखें. But before we finish, SYED, I just want to say we bring the news and views. Now recently UK BA Border Agency posters of branded as racist. उनके जो posters use कर रहे थे, they were regarded as racist, and the government been seen to be a bit one-sided, a bit racist, to use a word. अब ये बताएं. I mean that's the kind of opinion allegedly.
जी हाँ बिल्कुल. I mean इसके बारे में मैं यही कहूँगा कि ये आप इस बात से अंदाज़ा लगा सकते हैं कि why they have been portrayed as racist, क्योंकि all the immigration rules which are coming into force, they've been specifically targeted at ethnic minorities. Okay, and the general policy or the philosophy behind these rules is that the government wants to maintain the integrity and wants to preserve the white British identity of British Isles.
तो मतलब ये अपने आप को एक white
I mean because majority of the people who live here, and they are the people who vote our government in and out. ठीक है? So in order to appease the majority of the British population, they have brought in these draconian and stringent rules to say that look, we are doing everything to guard our borders and keep the low economic migrants from coming into UK. So that's
right. Sahab, jaldi se quickly you want to make a comment?
I totally agree with Mr. SYED what he said, and also a person who's not supposed to be here and who's an illegal person, and he should be removed, because obviously we don't want to have those sort of people committing crimes.
Of course. Thank you राज साहब. बस आपने अभी व्यूज़ अभी देखा होगा प्रोग्राम में, हमने न्यूज़ भी देना है, व्यूज़ भी लेना आपके, और we'll be here next week इंशाल्लाह. आपको कहते चलें तो इंशाल्लाह next month से, which is going to be November, मुहर्रम going to be starting, तो हमारा थोड़ा सा ब्रेक होगा इस प्रोग्राम में. अब इंशाल्लाह मुहर्रम के बाद हम लोग ज्वाइन करेंगे लीगल मैटर्स, कानूनी मशवरे. सो थोड़ा सा आपको बता रहा हूँ. So we will be coming back. It's just going to be a little interim break. But जो अभी हमने टॉपिक जो छेड़ा था, ये UKB border agencies branded as being racist allegedly for the way they've used the posters. ये थोड़ा सा हम टॉपिक को ज़रूर छेड़ेंगे और बात करेंगे, because there are some implications there. Because the government ने इस वक्त वो ये डिस्कशन में आई हुई थी that Theresa May, she was talking about possibly human rights के बारे में to water that down, and David Cameron's mentioned that. तो आप लोग जो ना या जो voters हैं, people who are British people, they need to lobby strongly, because the government is making one-sided case. We need to have a fair system. Britain is about fair and equality and justice. So आप लोग ज़रूर contact करें. We're here to help you and lobby you and lobby these government as well. But we need the support from the people. So आइंदा के program की इजाज़त दें. For next week इंशाल्लाह ताला फिर मिलेंगे. So keep watching Hidayat, keep watching Legal Matters. Good question अगर आपका रह गया and you want to contact us, please contact us off air as well. We'll be more than happy to help you. And second of all, अगर आप चाहते हैं we can help you, then please contact us. You've got our details. So thank you for watching और इंशाल्लाह फिर next week पे मुलाकात होती है.